So having that self-awareness, I think, is really important. I'll give you an example of what that led to for me in terms of a breakthrough is I had a really hard time. The numbers here are less important than the actual scenario, but I had a really hard time breaking into this 7-figure mark in the business. And I really wanted to get to about $100,000 a month in revenue. And it was like 6 months I was trying to break that ceiling. And like strategically, I was throwing everything at it. Tactically, I was throwing everything at it. Like within the realm of what I could do, I was doing all the things, but just couldn't break that ceiling. I was really scratching my head one day. And at the time, I had a really good habit of journaling daily to try to get some of that subconscious, thinking onto paper so I could deal with it. Because if it's subconscious, I don't know what's going on, right? If I can spill it onto paper, I can solve it. And what came out in a journaling session one day, and this is why I really recommend journaling, because stuff will come out that you didn't know you were thinking. What came out was, in a manner of words, what business do you have making more money in a month than your dad makes in a year? My dad, for me, is like the hardest working guy I know. He's 80 years old, works full time, civil servant. He's a researcher for the Department of Fisheries and Oceans in Canada. He's like the epitome of hard work. And he's a civil servant. He makes, fine, decent 6 figures, but he's not wealthy or doesn't earn a high income. Right. And so what came out for me, self-awareness, was I had an issue with, I already made more money than him, but I had an issue with making so much more money than him. And it felt wrong. And I felt like I didn't deserve it. He deserves it. I don't deserve it. Right. And I had to, that was therapy there, right? Like I had to go to my therapist with that little conundrum and work through it. And lo and behold, we broke through the ceiling when I was able to reconcile, above all else, making more money than my father doesn't make me a better person than my father. It's just money. Doesn't mean I'm better. Doesn't mean he's worse. It's just money, right? When I got my head around that, everything changed, right? So my point is, that's a personal story, but the point is, get to a level of self-awareness around where these blocks are, where they're coming from, because then we know what to solve for. And until then, we don't really know what to solve for.